Hello students, we are back with Economics Chapter 4, which is Globalization and the Indian Economy. In this chapter, we are going to learn about the integration between countries through foreign trade and foreign investment by multinational companies or multinational corporation. We will further get to know about the MNCs which plays the globalization process. In the final section of this chapter, we will find about the impact of globalization and the extent to which globalization has contributed to the development process. In the matter of years, our markets have been transformed. So the production across the country has also varied along these years. Trade was the main channel connecting distant countries. Large companies, which are now called multinational companies or MNCs, play a major role in trade. An MNC is a company that owns a controlled production which is more than one nation. MNCs set up offices and factories for production in regions where they can get cheap labor and other resources so that the company can earn greater profits. Now, we will learn about how our production across countries interlinked. The money that is spent to buy assets such as land, building, machines and other equipments is called investment. An investment made by MNCs is called foreign investment. MNCs are exerting a strong influence on production at a distant location. As a result, production in these widely dispersed locations is getting uplifted or interlinked. There are varieties of ways as mentioned below in which MNCs are spreading their production and interacting with local producers in various countries across the globe. Number 1 is by setting up partnership with local companies. Number 2 is by using the local companies for supply. Point number 3 is by closely competing with the local companies or buying them. MNCs set up production jointly with local companies which benefits local companies into the following ways. Firstly, MNCs can provide money for additional investment like buying new machines for the faster production. Number 2 is MNCs bring with the latest technology for production. We will learn more about how foreign trade and integration of markets work. Foreign trade creates an opportunity for the production to reach beyond the domestic markets. Producers can sell their products not only in the markets located with the country, but can also compete in markets located in other countries of the world. Similarly, buyers have the option to choose among various goods beyond domestically produced goods. Thus, foreign trade results in connecting the markets or integrating of markets in different countries.
Hello dear students, today we are here to start a new lesson from your geography textbook. The name of the lesson is Flora and Fauna. This entire habitat that we live in has immense biodiversity. India is one of the world's richest countries in terms of its vast array of biological diversity. Different varieties of forest and wildlife resources are found in India. Based on the International Union for Conservation of Nature and Natural Resources, which is also called as IUCN, we can classify different categories of existing plant and animal species as follows. The first category is called as the normal species. Species whose population levels are considered to be normal for their survival, such as cattle, sal, pine, rodents, etc., are termed as normal species. The second category is that of the endangered species. They are in danger of extinction. For example, species such as the black buck, crocodile, Indian wild ass, Indian rhino, lion-tailed macaw, etc. The third category is the vulnerable species. These are the species whose population has declined to levels they are likely to move into the endangered category in the near future if it continues to decline in the same manner. Some of the examples are blue sheep, Asiatic elephant, Gangetic dolphin, etc. Fourthly comes the rare species. These species with a very small population affect them continue to operate. The examples of such species are the Himalayan brown bear, wild Asiatic buffalo, desert fox, etc. The fifth category is that of the endemic species. These are the species which are only found in some particular areas, usually isolated by natural or geographical barriers. For example, the Andaman teal, the Nicobar pigeon, etc. The sixth is the extinct species. These species may be extinct from a local area, region, country, continent, or the entire earth. Some examples are the Asiatic cheetah, pink head duck, etc. Now, what are the negative factors that cause such fearful depletion of the flora and fauna? Wood, barks, leaves, rubber, medicines, etc. are obtained from nature in huge quantities. The expansion of railways, agriculture, commercial and scientific forestry, also the mining activities during the colonial period has affected the flora and fauna, and it has depleted over time. Similarly, large-scale expansion of agriculture, development projects, mining activities. Fourthly, unequal access, inequitable consumption of resources and differential sharing of responsibility for environmental well-being has also led to the decrease in flora and fauna. Tribal belts in the northeastern and central India are deforested or degraded by shifting cultivation. Collection of fuel wood and grazing have depleted forest resources over time. Hunting, habitat destruction, poaching, overexploitation, environmental pollution have led to the decline in India's biodiversity. Another important factor seen in this period was that Britain had no shortage of labour. Industrialists had therefore no problem of labour, and they were often of very high wage costs. Instead of machines, industrialists required large capital investment. The demand for labour was seasonal in many industries like the breweries or the printed books. In such industries where production fluctuated with the season, industrialists usually preferred hand labour, employing workers for only one season. This had an indirect effect on the lives of the workers in England. As there was no shortage in labour, therefore, in order to get a job, workers always had to have existing networks of friendship and kin relations in a factory. Till the mid-19th century, it was difficult for workers to find a stable job and a stable income for him. In the early 19th century, wages were increased. Still, the fear of unemployment made workers hostile to the introduction of the new spinning jenny. When the spinning jenny was introduced in the woolen industry, most of the workers in that industry rose into revolt. After the 1840s, England saw huge capital investment in building sectors and also for the construction of railway lines and railway coaches. This opened up new opportunities of employment for the workers. Now let's learn about the story of Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka is an island nation in Asia having a population of about 2 crores. It is also a diverse population. The major social groups are the Sinhala speaking, which contains about 74%, and the Tamil speakers, which contains about 18%. Among the Tamils, there are two subgroups, the Sri Lankan Tamils and the Indian Tamils. Most of the Sinhalas are Buddhist and the Tamils are both Hindus and Muslims. In Sri Lanka, the Sinhala community enjoyed the bigger majority and imposed its will on the entire country. Sri Lanka emerged as an independent country in the year 1948, tried to implement its constitution where the Sinhala community was in the majority, so they had formed the government. In 1956, an act was passed to recognize Sinhala as the official language. They also followed preferential policies that favored the Sinhala applicants for university positions and also for the government jobs. These measures taken by the newly formed government gradually increased the gap of the Tamils in the country. The Sri Lankan Tamils felt alienated from the Sinhala community. Sri Lankan Tamils felt that the constitution and the government policies denied them equal political rights, discriminated against them in giving them jobs and other opportunities, and ignored their interests. Due to all these reasons, the Sri Lankan Tamils launched their own parties and started struggling for their recognition in Sri Lanka. They also tried to recognize Tamil as an official language for regional autonomy and equality of opportunity in securing education and jobs. But their demand was repeatedly denied by the government. This distrust, which was created between the two communities, turned into widespread conflict and led to a civil war. The civil war, which killed thousands and thousands of people, ended in 2009 and caused a terrible setback to the social, cultural and economic life of the country.